Thank you. Oh, but here, can you hear? Yep. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we're going to have to be a little bit quieter today. We do have some guests here to talk about and to demonstrate some body language. So as you all know, or maybe don't know, 80% of communication is nonverbal. It's your expressions, it's how you look at people, it's how you move. Your body is saying a whole lot more than what your words are saying. We talk to these patients every single day. And sometimes our bodies are telling them something other than our words are. And so sometimes when they come and complain to me, you're like, well, I didn't say that. Well, maybe your words didn't say that, but your body did. So we're going to go, we have some examples here. And we have, and so our patient here, I think you might need something. She.
Mr. Hall, I'm sorry, Miss Hall. You need something?
First of all, baby, what's your name?
Oh, I'm Pete. Your CNA today. Are you okay?
Pimp?
Yeah?
Pimp?
Yes.
I'm not that pimp.
I'm sorry.
Pimp, can I get a pillow?
Sure.
Please? Today, I need it under my foot right there. My feet.
All right, Miss Hall.
They swollen.
Get up.
Oh!
Sorry.
Her and pimp?
Oh, sorry about it. Sorry about it. You all right?
Oh, yeah. I don't know now. They probably broke.
Oh.
And pimp.
Yes.
I don't feel that thing so fat. I'm gonna need another one.
Okay.
You got dance or something? Hold on. No.
Okay, feet up, Miss Hall.
My name is Pete.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sister Feet up.
Alright, too long.
All right.
Oh, easy, baby.
Yes, feet up. 1, 2, 3.
No.
You're all right? You're comfortable?
No.
It's okay.
I know.
Can I get somebody else? Help me.
All right.
Okay, hold on.
Good job. Get out my hand. So what was Pip's body language saying to him?
It was tired.
Irritated. That's right. Implementation, kind of aggravated. Yeah, so what were the things that you noticed that he was doing with his body language? What were some? Standing like this. Now, come on. Exactly. Yes. He's like he's going to tear his hair out, right? Look like your mother would. What are some of the other gestures he was doing? Stomping his foot. That's right. Oh, come on. Let's get out of here. Yeah. Right? Yeah. What was his words saying that? No. But he felt it. She felt it.
I need to speak to Debbie Brazil.
Okay, I'm going to order for you.
What did you say? Go ahead and call
All
her.
right. I know, right? Let's go for example 2. Ring your bell.
Yes, Miss Hall. What you need?
When I'm gonna get my
Hold on. Wait a minute. No, I was just in with a patient. Yeah, but she's all right.
Excuse me.
Miss Hall, I said I'd be right there.
But I need
One more minute.
to get my tooth hooked up.
Okay, wait up, okay? I got this
God,
patient.
hurry.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're done. In that book I seen.
All righty. So what happened there? What did you do wrong there?
Cell phone.
Everything?
What day did she do? Yeah, right.
Was there anything she did?
She did right.
She answered promptly.
She answered properly.
She stuck the IV in her. She showed up.
She showed up. That's right, she should. All right. Okay, so we have another example over here.
Yeah, I'm over here.
Okay, I'll be back. 1 minute. Would you like some ice?
Yes, please.
That's okay. 5 minutes.
Have my water. Where's my girl with my water?
Can you stop ringing that bell?
Mr. Bean, I want some water.
All right, okay, so what did she do? Nothing? That's right, she walked in and she walked out, right? She didn't even talk to her. She didn't even look at her, did she? No, she looked down, she didn't acknowledge her, she just, it's like, oh, she's coming back.
There's no straws. Have a good night.
Thank
Yeah, there you are.
you. Yeah.
All righty, so no eye contact, no acknowledgement that she's a person or a human being or that this is, somebody we should be with. Okay, so Liz and Bree. Uh-oh, you got stage right over here.
Just be yourself.
Yourself. Let's go right there.
Yes, ma'am. How may I help you?
Hold on, I knew I wanted something. Can you guys get me a sandwich?
What kind of salad?
What do you guys have?
We have tuna, we have egg salad, we have chicken salad, we got a ham sandwich, turkey, anything you like. Hamburgers, something like that.
I'll just take ketchup.
Is that all for you?
Yes.
All righty, what did Bree do there? She had a hard time acting, let's go. Yeah, okay, ring your bell. Yeah. Christine?
Ron, what you need?
Water.
Okay, hold on. We'll get you aid. Hold on.
How can I help you?
I need some water.
Okay, just a minute. Give us a little water. Here you go, ma'am.
Breaking hers.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
That's all. Thank you.
Okay, you have to be there. Call me if you need me, ring your line.
Okay, make sure that other girl knows what she's doing.
Do you happen to catch your name? Because all the aides here are dressed alike.
All the eggs here dressed alike.
Her aide was so rude. Okay.
And she
And
passed
she
her
passed
off
it on
to
to
somebody
somebody
else.
And she passed her, that's right. That's right. What else? So what did Marva do right on her initial encounter?
She said everything. She acknowledged her.
She acknowledged her, right?
She told her,
Got her
got her
water.
water,
Right.
and told her if she needed anything else, just let her know.
And what about the reassuring shoulder tap, that if you need anything else, you let me know? Right? Isn't that reassuring, just a light touch? Just, you know, now she didn't grab her shoulder. She didn't choke her. Yes. Alrighty, so body language is pretty darn important. So what is body language? It's everything you do other than what you're saying. It can be your tone of voice, it can be how you roll your eyes, if you frown, if you smile. Your eyes can speak for you too. The most important part of a greeting and part of when you first introduce yourself to a patient, when you first see them, the most important thing we can do is to extend a hand for a handshake. Now, they might not be able to shake your hand. They might have other things, but the most important part also of the handshake is not the grip, but that you actually touch them. It's the palm-to-palm contact. There's other, when you have a very limp handshake, it shows that people, at least it conveys, that you're not sincere, you're not open or honest. If you try and crush somebody's hand, or bone crusher, you're insecure and trying to overcompensate for that. If you're palm down, which is like this, and you put a hand on top, you're trying to dominate the situation. We don't want to do that. And another thing you can do with the patients is when you wrap the left hand underneath the arm, the hand like this, and shake their hand. It gives them it shows them that you're there to support them. For gestures with theirs, you become on the same playing field. They feel like you're one and you're thinking in the same mindset, and they're more likely to go in your direction, to do what you want them to do. It gives people a comfort and some support. Has anybody experienced this before, this kind of mirroring? Has anybody tried it? Has anybody experienced the mirroring? When you mirror other people's gestures and how other people are standing or what they're doing at the time? Posture is another thing. So if you're gonna go into a patient's room and you're gonna be turned away from them and you're looking at your phone or you're doing something else, they're gonna think you're not interested in them. So you want to be, upright, square shoulders, but not just, Superman. You want to be of a relaxed posture and not slumped over. Because slumped over is a sign of insecurity or a feeling of shame or guilty, or they're going to not trust you. You go in with slumped shoulders. So you want to go in with a posture. You stand upright. You look at them. Also watch the body language with either the hands on the hips or the crossing over of your arms. Anytime you're crossing, you're closing yourself out from people. You're crossing the legs. Anytime you're kind of closing yourself off and you're putting up that wall, then they're going to feel that. So you're going to want to be sure that you keep yourselves open. Eye contact. Eye contact can vary by culture, but in the United States, it can be honesty and forthrightness. So you want to always make eye contact with your patients that are here. So go into the room, be sure they see you, you see them, and acknowledge them as an individual when you make eye contact like that. And of course, the eyes can express and can say, they're the windows into your soul, they say. They can show annoyance, happiness, and even pain in some of our patients, right? Have you been able to read the eyes of your patients? Can you walk into a room and know how a patient is feeling by looking at them, by looking at their eyes, by looking into the eyes? Usually you can. And the most important thing to remember is the smile. Always, when you're approaching one of the patients, when you're talking to them, is to always smile. I know sometimes we don't always feel like smiling, but what's that saying? You fake it till you make it. And if you smile, believe it or not, your mood will lift.
Yes.
Even if you don't want to smile. If you smile and force yourself to smile, you yourself will start to feel better, as well as the patients around you will be better off. They'll cooperate better.
That was so wonderful, and I'm sure after a while they would have figured out I am a raging Cajun from Southwest Louisiana. But I happen to be a lady named Jan, and I'm what's titled a body language expert. See, I teach people how to tell what other people are thinking. I study how a person moves his hands and his arms and his eyes and his shoulders, and then I interpret that and tell you what's going on inside his head. I'm involved in jury selection, so there's a pretty serious side to what I do. And I specialize in how to tell when someone's telling the truth versus how to tell when someone's telling a lie. So maybe while I'm with you today, I can teach you how to tell when people are lying to you. Better yet, I can teach you how to lie to other people and they won't know. I can probably teach you just enough to get you in some kind of trouble. I'm going to start off with something quite interesting and fun for you. You see, I watch people in the courtroom every day, and I watch them raise their right hand. And then I listen as they say, I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I have gone to where I watch the way they lift their hand, and I can tell you if they'll tell us the truth or not. So just as an experiment, could you raise your right hand? Let's pretend. Let's just pretend we're sitting there and we're getting ready to say, I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Key thing is this, you must freeze your hand right now. Just freeze it. Because I will tell you some things that I see. Some of you will not like sitting by some of the people you're sitting by. I will teach you what we look for in the courtroom, but I need you to freeze your hand so that you can know what you were thinking initially when you were asked to lift the hand. I look for 5 things. Some of you are like this. I mean, see how wide apart my fingers are and look how rigid my hand is? I'll tell you what that says about a person in the courtroom. Some of you have your hand up and your fingers are tight together. I'm going to explain that one to you. I notice some people have their hands bent. I'll tell you what that says about you. A couple of people have 2 fingers together, 2 fingers apart. I am worried about you. And some people even lean their hands back. So keep your hand up so I can tell you what each one meant. This is the very first one. Look how rigid my hand is and look how wide apart the fingers are. When someone is in the courtroom and their hand is this way, this usually says that they are terrified and they will tell us the whole truth. Wherever you have to go just like this. The second one, though, is equally as good. If the hand is up and the fingers are tight together, this says that they will tell us the truth, but we will have to pull it out of them. This is called an analytical honesty. Third is probably the most frightening. Anytime the hand is bent, it usually says that they will try to lie to us. You may want to check with your neighbors right now.
No, I just did it because she said.
For the fourth one, I had 2 fingers together and 2 fingers apart. Think about what I initially said. Whenever fingers are apart, it's a readily type of honesty. And when fingers are tight together, it's an analytical honesty. Therefore, this person would give us both types of responses. And in the last one, I just bent my hand backwards this way. When people tend to bend the hand backwards, it usually says that they will try to bend over backwards to get you to believe them, but will typically be telling you a lie. Now put your hand down.
Oh my God.
You know what's going to be great about everything you learned from me this morning? Everything you can learn, you can use immediately in your own personal lives. So this evening when you return home and you see your spouse, you may want to say, now what have you been doing since I've been gone all day? And as your spouse begins to tell you, say, can you finish telling me that story? And just put your right hand there. And look to see if it's this way or this way. That's what my job is that every time a person moves a hand or an arm or an eye or a shoulder, all of this motion is indicative of what that person is thinking. And in reality, a body does not know how to tell a lie. It is a mouth that tells a lie. You find out while we're together that you move your hands a certain way when you're saying something that you know is not honest, and that you move your hands another way when you're saying something that you know is absolutely, absolutely true. I'll start off at first and I'll give you the percentages so that it sits well with you. This is what the research is indicating to us. 55% of a person's communication is nonverbal. 55%. The moment we see someone, we form an opinion of them and we say, do I like that person? Do I trust that person? Do I even want to do some kind of business with them? 55% of our communication is nonverbal communication. 38% of a person's communication simply comes from their voice inflection. Just when our voices go up or down, that keeps people interested in what we're saying. And then the research says that only 7% of a person's actual communication comes from the words that they say. And I know you've heard the old saying, actions speak louder than words. We say an awful lot of things with the way that we move our hands, or our shoulders. My job and objective today is to teach you as much as I can about this whole thing called nonverbal communication. I'm going to start off because I've been watching you since this morning, watched you come through, watched you sit in here with the previous speakers. I just want to show you some gestures I've noticed some of you have done. And as I teach you and tell you this gesture, I just want you to tell me if you think it is true or if you think it is false. I will give you a test of 5 gestures. Here comes number 1. Let's say you're talking with someone, predominantly a man. Let's say you're speaking with a guy, and as the guy listens to you, the whole time that he listens, he just starts doing this. He will slowly, slowly rub the bottom of his chin this way. For question number 1, I want to ask it in this way and say, when someone does this, this is a sign that says that they are seriously contemplating what is being said. Would you think that that would be true? Do you think that that would be false? What do you think? We'll not give you the answers just yet. You have 5 questions on this exam. Here comes number 2. And I know you've seen this gesture. Number 2 goes this way. Men who constantly jingle the change in their pocket. When a man will constantly jingle the change in his pocket, it is a sign that says that he is quite concerned about his financial condition. Would you think that that one would be true? Do you think that that one would be false? What do you think? I will keep that one in for you. Number 3 is probably the most frightening one that I could ask of you, but I need your opinion, and it goes this way. People who tend to use their left hand a lot tend to lie a lot. Would you think that that would be true? Do you think that that one would be false? What do you think? Probably everyone who said false is left-handed. Left-handed friends, let me see those nice left-handed friends. They look very honest to me, so let me repeat number 3. Did not ask and say people who are left-handed. Simply asked and said, people who tend to use the left hand a lot tend to lie a lot. I'm going to keep that one in. I will try this one with you for number 4 and get your opinion. Goes this way. Suppose you are watching a man and a woman in a casual conversation. And as this man and woman are speaking, let's say the man begins to pull up his socks. For number 4, let me ask you this. When a man begins to pull up his socks during a casual conversation with the lady, it usually says that he would like to ask the lady out on a date. Would you think that that would be true? Do you think that that would be false? What do you think? I think you need some training. Let me try this last one for number 5, and I know this is a gesture you've done often and also see you done. Let's say you're talking with someone. And I imagine when you're talking, watch. Your hands go away from your body. Sometimes they come towards your body. Probably some of you have even said, if I could not use my hands, I could not even speak. I'll clarify that before I even ask question number 5. It is perfectly all right to use your hands when you're talking, because watch what happens psychologically. When you move your right hand, or for that matter, anything you move on the right side of your body, all of this motion is controlled from the left side of your head, your left brain. Your left brain is analytical, it is statistical, it is factual. Our timetables are on this side. I didn't have trouble getting the numbers multiplied. You would end up moving your right hand. It would help clarify what you are thinking, and then you could speak those words. When you move your left hand, or anything you move on this side of the body, all of that, of course, is controlled from the right side of your head. Your right brain, it's creative, it is comical, it daydreams. If you ever drove somewhere and you don't know how you got there, you drove with the right brain.
The most important thing is communication, to hear what is not being said. And there's a lot of different.
Yeah. That's what we just heard too.
Messages.
That meant when she turned her back on me, to be
Oops, I gotta go.
We heard you loud and clear.
Careful with the hands, we're watching.
I just want to make it interesting. Let's give a big round of applause for my volunteers. Where did we go? There's Pip. Liz. Oh. Yay. Alrighty, so remember, let's watch our body language. And this is my thought for the day. An optimist who goes after Moby Dick in a rowboat and takes the tartar sauce with him. Alrighty, thank you folks. Let's